Artie, I love how you said my name like you knew me.
Well, yeah, it's a little trick I learned from watching Bill Clinton,
Ugh, I mean, that was like, that second was just like, I was really moved by that. Okay.
Really? Wow. I
Okay.
appreciate it.
Well, first of all, I didn't know if you were actually going to call, so I'm excited that you did.
Oh, no, listen, I appreciate you waiting a little bit. I know you called a few days ago. I've been in a living hell schedule-wise, traveling and stuff, so thanks for waiting.
Okay, your book's called Too Fat to Fish.
Yeah.
I really shouldn't go on about this, but I love you on the Howard Stern show, even though I'm, working terrestrial radio.
Thank you.
I think you have added so much to that show. Nothing against Jackie.
Right.
But I think it's great that you've written a book. Has it been fun doing all this press, or has it worn you out a bit?
Well, it's just, I don't mind the actual amount of stuff. It's like anything else. It's traveling. That's where it kills you. I've been, the last couple of, the last month, I guess, I've been, to San Francisco, Pittsburgh, Toronto, LA, Boston, Philadelphia, and,
why no Atlanta date? I want to know why you haven't played Atlanta. I have a couple guys I know in the comedy business, and I'm always asking, why doesn't Artie play Atlanta?
Well, we were never on in Atlanta. It's the last time I did stand up in Atlanta was 1998.
Wow.
I opened up for Norm Macdonald at the Roxy, and I remember it being a great crowd. We were promoting Dirty Work, and MGM sent us out on tour where I opened for them, and we played Atlanta, and it was a great crowd. We stayed at the Ritz-Carlton and that Buckhead or something.
Yeah, Buckhead. I love Northerners. My father, God rest his soul, used to call it Buck's Head too.
Yeah, Buckhead. I don't know. You're right. I remember that. I remember loving Atlanta. But the thing was, when I got on the Stern Show a couple years later, it just made no sense to waste a weekend of work in a market where the show wasn't on, when I could make a lot of money in markets where it was. So that's why I concentrated on just the markets where we were. But now it's serious. We're everywhere.
Right.
And there are other cities that I've heard have developed a big enough following that we didn't have before. And Atlanta's one of them. So it's certainly something that's on my mind, and hopefully soon.
Well, good, because we want to see you here. Bob Saget was in here a couple of months ago in the studio with us.
Oh, yeah? Saget's a good guy.
Good guy. Had great things to say about you.
Because, yeah, he directed Dirty Work. That's how
right.
I met him. And Bob's a sweet guy, good guy.
So, what is your obsession with Hawaiian Punch?
I don't know. I just, I do still have very kids' taste. I do. I love fluffing on her and Hawaiian Punch. I think that everyone still secretly loves it. They're just embarrassed
to
by
say, oh, like no one's really going to order a Hawaiian Punch. Except you.
Well, I don't know. It's I was drinking a lot of soda every day, and just one day, a couple of years ago, I was looking through the vending machine by us, and I saw it had Hawaiian Punch cold, and I was like, oh wow, I got excited. I was like, a new drink. A drink I haven't had in a long time to try, and then.
And the next thing you know, because I was listening to the replay show yesterday, and they were playing the show where you were sleeping.
One of the several ones.
Yes, and it was like you wake up and you're like, I want a macchiato and a Hawaiian Punch.
Right. I just, I let it all hang loose on the show now, just complete and total honesty.
Well, and I have been following everything. I saw you on Conan recently.
Right.
And that was pretty wild how you're grilling Conan about his move to the Tonight Show.
Yeah. It's fun when you, because I've been doing Conan show now for 10 years, so I kind of know him, and it's a lot of fun when you know the guy because you can get away with stuff and feel comfortable, and I think it makes for a better thing. So that's the way I am with Conan now. So I like going off the card there and busting his chops a little.
Well, the book is called Too Fat to Fish. It's topping the New York Times bestseller. That is so incredible. I know Howard's written a foreword for you. And I remember when that came about, he seemed like he really didn't want to do it.
He brought it up.
Right.
That's something I would never ask him to do. But one day on the air, he out of nowhere was talking about, certain things he's done for people in his life because he's friendly with them. Like, I don't know, and he just mentioned out of the blue, someone asked me to, write a forward to a book once or something, and I said, but certain people I would, like, and he knew I had the book deal, and as an example, he said, if Artie wanted me to write the forward to this book, I would write it. And I said, really? He's like, yeah, I would, if you really wanted me to do it. So, of course, the book company heard that, and they begged me to re-ask them, which is such an awkward thing. But sure enough, when I did, he was like, I didn't say that, and I would love to. And wrote the forward.
I think there's just something so great about the honesty on that show. I mean, for me as someone in radio, he is my idol.
Yeah, I feel the same way as a comic, he's a guy that transcends as a comedian and someone who works in radio, or if you're both, he's pretty much right on,
So I was fascinated. There have been so many things I've been fascinated hearing you talk about very openly. One, your drug addiction has just been like an open book, but I don't want to hit on that too much because I found it so fascinating you talking about going to Afghanistan. Do you feel like that experience changed you at all?
Not drastically, but a little bit. I always had, a ton of respect for the troops and stuff, but if I could say that it's more now, it is just like, what those kids are doing, and they're kids,
Right.
Literally, you look at them and they look like, they just got out of detention in the 10th grade or something. They put on an army uniform. But what they have to do, we met a lot of guys who do special ops, and they're all like these Rambo guys who are out doing hand-to-hand combat or something.
And there you are in the middle of it all.
Right, and I'm sitting there and I just trying to observe stuff and then trying to make people laugh, and I don't know, I think people think that they're so uptight, the soldiers, and very militarized, but a lot of them aren't. They like a good joke, they want to laugh, so thank God I had no problem.
Well, what you guys talked about, I love Dave Attell, and the one joke he told about the sock, they couldn't tell any masturbation jokes.
Yeah. They told us we couldn't masturbate. We couldn't.
But you couldn't masturbate at all.
Masturbating in Iraq.
Right.
And Tell had the greatest way around that. What I can curse here, right?
What? Yeah, well, go for it.
Oh well, he said, look, I don't. I was told by the heads of the USO that I couldn't talk about masturbating in my act, so I'm not going to do that. Rather than that, I'm going to tell you a story about the time I was fucking the sock with shampoo in it.